In the quiet suburbs of Oak Ridge, where manicured lawns and white picket fences masked the undercurrents of everyday drama, the Thompson family seemed like any other. But beneath the surface simmered a feud that would unravel secrets, expose lies, and ignite a neighborhood war. It all started with Susan Grant, the iron-fisted president of the Homeowners Association, whose clipboard and stern gaze terrorized residents over the pettiest infractions. Susan had zeroed in on the Thompsons with a vengeance that felt personal, escalating from nitpicky complaints to outright sabotage. Whispers hinted at something darker. Susan wasn't who she claimed to be, and her grudge ran deeper than overgrown grass. Henry Thompson, the family's patriarch, was a retired widower who spent his days tending a vibrant garden, his hands calloused from years of government work he rarely discussed. His son, Michael, the narrator of this tale, posed as a business consultant, jetting off on mysterious trips that left neighbors gossiping. Then there was young Alex, Michael's 12-year-old boy, a sharp kid navigating the pitfalls of middle school, blissfully ignorant of the shadows lurking in his family's past. Susan's arrival shattered their peace. She was a formidable woman in her late 50s, with sharp features and an authoritative strut that commanded attention. Her first strike came over trivialities. The grass was a quarter-inch too tall, the car parked an inch over the line, and heaven forbid, a whimsical garden gnome that violated aesthetic standards. She didn't just cite them. She turned it into a spectacle, bellowing accusations from the sidewalk as neighbors peeked through curtains. "You're bringing down property values," she'd shriek, drawing a crowd like a ringmaster at a circus. Henry met her fury with eerie calm, pruning his roses as if she were a pesky fly. Michael, however, sensed malice beyond HOA zealotry. "This isn't about rules," he muttered one evening. "She's probing us." Alex, ever the loyal grandson, defended Henry fiercely, yelling back at Susan from the porch, his voice cracking with youthful defiance. But Susan didn't stop. Her tactics grew vicious. She blasted the family on social media, posting grainy photos of their home with captions accusing them of shady dealings. At neighborhood meetings, she'd question Michael's consulting job, implying it was a front for something illicit. Worst of all, she rallied allies by spreading rumors. The Thompsons were flashing fake FBI badges to intimidate people. Neighbors who once waved hello now crossed the street, whispering about those frauds. The isolation stung, turning their haven into a prison. As tensions boiled, the family's secrets bubbled up. Henry wasn't just any retiree. He'd been an FBI agent, the one who'd nailed Margaret Haisa, notorious money launderer, for a scheme that funneled millions through phony charities. She'd served 15 years, emerging bitter and reinvented as Susan Grant. Michael? No consultant, was an active FBI agent in the Financial Crimes Division, cross-trained with the DEA, his trips covert ops chasing white-collar crooks. Even Alex played a part unwittingly, eavesdropping on Susan's heated phone calls from his treehouse perch, jotting down fragments that pieced together her plot. Susan's motive? Pure revenge. Henry had shattered her empire, and now, under her new alias, she aimed to dismantle his life. By infiltrating the HOA, she planned to discredit the Thompsons, seize neighborhood control, and expand her scams. She manipulated residents with fear-mongering tales of outsiders ruining the community, all while siphoning funds through bogus fees. It was controversial. Some saw her as a defender of order, others as a bully, but her charisma masked the felon within. The climax erupted at a staged showdown. Susan orchestrated a public event, summoning police to arrest the Thompsons for a federal impersonation. Neighbors gathered, phones out to capture the humiliation, egged on by her triumphant smirk. Officer Thompson's relation arrived with cuffs ready, the air thick with anticipation. But Henry and Michael flipped the script. Flashing legitimate FBI credentials, they stunned everyone. "Check them," Henry said coolly. The officer's eyes widened as verification came through. Then Henry dropped the bomb. "Susan Grant is Margaret Hayes, convicted felon, out for blood after I put her away." Chaos ensued. Margaret crumbled, her facade cracking. "25 years I've waited," she screamed, admitting her revenge scheme, the manipulations, the false reports. Police hauled her off for harassment, fraud, and parole violations, her allies scattering like rats. The aftermath shook Oak Ridge to its core. Neighbors who'd backed Margaret hung their heads, offering awkward apologies over fences. "We were fooled," one confessed, the embarrassment palpable. The community rallied, exposing Margaret's wider crimes. HOA scams across states, defrauding 52 families of $890,000. Victims reclaimed their money. Margaret got 18 years, her accomplices 5 to 12. In the void, Clara Jenkins stepped up as the new HOA president, emphasizing unity over tyranny. Henry offered free security tips, turning his expertise into neighborhood workshops. A community garden bloomed where suspicion once festered, forging bonds amid the controversy of how easily they'd been duped. Yet peace felt fragile. Weeks later, a cryptic letter arrived from prison, Margaret's scrawl taunting, "Your cozy suburb? I chose it for a reason. Check the basement, me gift awaits." Henry's face paled. The case wasn't closed. Michael vowed protection, his jaw set. Alex, no longer innocent, sensed the looming threat, his eyes wide with newfound fear. In the end, this saga screams a harsh truth. Predators lurk in plain sight, twisting communities with lies and charisma. Vigilance isn't optional, it's survival. Trust blindly, and you invite chaos. But what did Margaret bury in that basement? The shadows whisper it's far from over, leaving us all questioning the monsters next door.